Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Cotter Khan. I'm back here with Galar Alpha, my alpha clone, doing our little 1 month alpha clone challenge to see how hard it is to be an alpha clone and whether or not it's even viable, whether it's any fun. Um, Today we're going to talk a little bit about faction rep. We're going to go on a little journey. And when I say little, I'm talking like 38 jumps away journey. We're going to talk about how much ISK I've made. So you can see my income has been 43 million. We've made a pretty decent chunk of ISK. Unfortunately, we've given most of that back away, but it's for good reasons. The stuff we've given it away for is right here in the inventory here. We've picked up our ship, our destroyer. We brought it over. We dumped all the civilian stuff that was on it off of it, and we bought a completely new fit for it. This fit I will talk a little bit about. We will put it also in the description. We fit a lot of T2 lasers up here in the top. We are not using the T2 ammunition, and we're not using the T2 ammunition because it burns out. We don't want to have any ammunition costs. We are, however, bringing backup ammunition here. We can pull this down real quick. Oh boy. Should probably do this in the fitting. Go to simulate and throw these up here, and we'll see that our DPS drops dramatically, about 50 points of DPS less. But guys, we are shooting at 20 kilometer range and a 23 fall off, which means when we get into these sites that we're going to be doing soon, as soon as we pull in, as soon as we lock them up, our locking range is still pretty weak. But if we can lock them, we're going to be able to put DPS on them already from the get-go with the amount of, well, 1 kilometer overlap. But that's fine. So yeah, that's that. We're going to take this, and we've named it Sisters of Eve Chase, SoE Chase. We've named it that because we're going to go try and do the Epic Arc. That is the plan today. We're going to make a little bit of money on doing that, and we've also, because we want to make money through that, because they are missions, we've gotten away from the starter corp. Starter corps have 11%, I believe, 11% tax on everything that you do. So any missions that you run, any bounties that you collect, you're getting taxed from them, and it's just not fun. So we went ahead and joined a Friends Corp. They have 0% tax. That's fine by me. We'll get all the money that we get belongs to us. And you see here that when you're an alpha clone, when you first log in, your first 15 days, you get some unique rewards. And it starts with a little bit of ISK, book that we've trained, 10,000 skill points. The starter cerebral accelerator, that is this here, it gives you 3 points of modifiers to all of your skill modifiers, I guess. So basically every skill in Eve has a base skill that it's, or a base stat that it's based on, and that's the memory, intelligence, willpower, perception, charisma, and this just gives us a boost to those. It helps us train a little bit faster for right now. You can also buy the implants. We also have a couple implants from those starter missions, and we see on day 5 when the server goes down and comes back up in about 2 hours, we'll get another 20,000 ISKs. That's not a big bump for us, considering we've already earned about 40 million in the 3 days we've been playing the character. Tomorrow we'll get a frigate. I'm wondering how this works. I'm not sure if we're going to get the frigate that we want, if it's a frigate that's not going to help us much, and we'll get a skin. And I hope it's for the frigate that they give us. If it's not, then that's kind of not a fair trade here, I would say. Like, let's give you a frigate and then let's give you a skin that doesn't even correlate to the frigate that we've given you. But we'll check that out tomorrow. So today, like I said, we're going to try to do some Sisters of Eve stuff, but first we'll talk a little bit about the magnet. The magnet, we said we were going to talk about it in the next episode, so I guess we'll talk about it really quick. This is our scanning ship. Unfortunately, we are way too late to scan anything good. we can go here to the agency and we can look under exploration, under cosmic signatures. This is where we would find our data and relic sites, but as you can see, there's only, in all of these close by, close to Amar systems, there's only one signature and system, and those are most likely either wormholes or a combat site. So it's not really worth me warping out, checking them, at least not right now. But I think we're going to push this all to the next episode once we get done the Sisters of Eve, and I might even break the Sisters of Eve thing up into 2, maybe even 3 episodes, simply because of the fact that there are a lot of missions. I think that's a total of 51 missions that we're going to run, and that was the other reason why we jumped out of that starter. 51 missions minus 11% tax. That's a lot of tax that we're going to get hit with. So we jumped into our own corp, or our friend's corp, and yeah, we're going to set out and do this. So to start off, you're going to want to have a destroyer. I am going through basically with the wiki.eveuniversity.org. It's called the Bloodstained Stars is the epic arc we're going to do. So we'll look here. It's also in the agency. We'll go to agency missions, and it's considered an epic arc. And right there, you see it. It's the Bloodstained Stars, and you can see that she's in Arnon. We can start the conversation. They'll say it's great. We need to stop by, just like they always say. And we'll just go ahead and set the destination. And oh my god, 38 jumps away. I know that here it says, or somewhere it says, that she's only 11 jumps away, I believe, 15 jumps away. We can change that by going here and preferring shorter. This will also ignore the security status, and we'll see that there is a singular low-sec pipeline. And I know from experience, because I've gone to Jita many times with my Omega clone character, that this pipeline on the weekend is very camped. There'll be guys there with remote repping ships to rep up the other guys because they're getting shot with the gate guns, and I don't think that my Alpha clone destroyer will warp fast enough to get away, so we're going to have to go these 38 jumps. To do these 38 jumps, we're just going to go ahead and say that I'll probably cut the video, but I'm going to show you a little bit of what I'm going to do to pass the time, other than, of course, watch YouTube videos. So we'll go ahead and get in our coercer here that we've named SoE Chase. Where is make active? There we go. Like I said, guys, the link to, or at least the fittings that I'm using are going to be in the description. I could probably squeeze a little bit more DPS out of this if I dropped a little bit of the tank, and I'm actually not too worried about my tank. For the simple fact that this thing is doing a ton of damage for level 1 missions, or even this Sisters of Eve thing. They suggest that you get around 100 damage to be able to beat the quote-unquote boss. And he is pretty, he rep tanks pretty good. He's in a Dramiel, I believe. But yeah, we'll go ahead and change this back to prefer safe. Jump out of that. We'll go ahead and undock. And according to the wiki, you're going to need a... You could probably do this in an assault frigate if you're not doing it with an alpha character. But you're going to need, I believe, 150 meters cubed of space, because 1 or 2 of the missions is a fetch or ferry mission, where you're just going to have to do that kind of stuff. So, to make money passively, this is something else new they've added here, is this Project Discovery. I'm not going to bore you with this whole tutorial, so we'll just go ahead and skip the introduction. We're going to skip the tutorial. Basically, you get these things, these pictures, and what they want you to do is draw boxes around the stuff in accordance to how you think that there is something there. They don't have to be pretty, they don't have to be good. Eventually it'll tell you how good you're doing with your accuracy rating. Look at that, 74% accurate. Other people drew it a little bit more smaller than I did. But that's fine, and look, we're gonna get every time we're getting these bonuses, we're going to get a little bit of money, passive money, and we'll get eventually some rewards to include ship skins, and these boxes will give us stuff as well. Just remember to keep jumping through the gates as we're going. We're not really worried about gate campers or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. This is what I'm going to be doing, and probably turn on a YouTube video while we're traveling, and once we get to the Sisters of Eve hub, I'll explain what's going on. And we're back. And the reason we're here, like I said, we're doing this Sisters of Eve Epic Arc, the Bloodstained Stars. It starts all right here in Arnon with Sister Alitura. And the reason we're doing this, the whole thing, guys, is because at the end you get to choose the faction that you want to increase your standing with. It gives, the final mission will give you a plus 7% to the Empire faction of your choice with no derived standing changes. That means that if you have Social 5, it jumps it to 8.75%, and you will not lose the percentage. Like currently, if I do missions for Amar or Caldari, I'm slowly losing Minotaur and Galvante reputation, which will eventually get to the point where they will shoot at you if you enter their space, which is not cool, but you can deal with it in other ways. The other cool thing about this Epic Arc is, after, you know, our alpha character trains up connections and some other things to reduce the penalty against other faction standings, so we can come back in 3 months and do this again, and instead of Amar, I can choose Galvante, and then I have no longer negative by Galvante, I have maybe a slight positive, and I don't have to worry about getting shot by them. 3 months later, we can come back and do it again and run it for Minotaur, because I'm always going to be plus with Caldari, because I'm always getting a little bit of Caldari rep by doing Amar missions. So once we get this one done, this time we're going to choose Amar at the end, and that should pump us up all the way up to, I believe, level 2, maybe even opening up level 3 agents. And you'll see that level 4 agents, you're going to have 5.0, but at 3.0 we get level 3 agents. Level 3 agents are going to give us cruiser or even battle cruiser level missions. And that's what we're going to shoot for, because our next training plan, as you can see here, we're training signature analysis now, but we're training medium energy turrets, and we're training Amar Cruiser 1, because we have in our plans to get a Mauler. And this is how we've set it up. As you can see right now, the DPS is, well, it has no charges on it, but DPS isn't going to be that bad. To start with, it's pretty low, but every time we train Amar Cruiser, that goes up by 5%, so that should pump that up pretty quick, and it also gets the same armor resistance that our Punisher did, so this is basically a upgraded version of the Punisher. It even looks a little bit like the Punisher, which is cool, and it's very tight on the power grid, it's very tight on the CPU. We even have to fit a rig here that increases our power grid, but the whole thing is going to cost us 38.8 million. This should get us into tier 1 abysses and probably into these T3 or level 3 missions that we're trying to run. So that's why we're over here, is to increase our standings, to be able to run T3s. So we'll go ahead and close all this up. We're going to accept this first mission, and as I've said before, guys, these entire missions are, I'll link it, it's the wiki eveuniversity.org, the Bloodstained Stars. It's 51 missions. I'm going to start here with 1, so 1 through 10 is here with the Sister Alitura, and she's going to then tell you to go somewhere else after that. If I run into any issues where something's not really understandable, I'll turn the recording back on and catch you guys up on why it's not really that understandable or what's going on in the mission. And any of the missions where there's a possibility of losing our ship, we'll turn the recording on and record a little bit of that. Other than that, I'm just going to go straight through accepting missions. The other cool thing that we can talk about that they implemented on this one is over here in the tracking. There are a few of these missions that you can remotely accept and remotely turn in, so you don't even have to be at the mission site. So this one, she wants us to go a couple jumps away. But as I said, if anything interesting comes up, I'll turn the recordings on, we'll talk about it real quick, and then I'll pause the recording again. So I'll see you in a few. And we're already back. This is only the second mission, guys, but this one could be tricky. It has you warp to this position in space here. Make sure that you just left click and hold and start conversation with this guy. It'll open it up then. You can't really get it from the general overview and all that kind of stuff. Even though I know he's in this ship here, it doesn't exactly let me talk to him. It's kind of interesting that way, but yeah, if you just he's in this Iteron here, right click, talk to him. It says talk to Tevis Jack, but if you just go up and you talk to him like that, it works just fine. And we're back. We are currently on 10 of the 10th mission here, and it's called Going Galvante, and she wants us to report to somebody. So we'll go ahead and accept this, and we'll undock. This is the current loot we've scooped from doing these missions so far. And set destination. She wants us to go about 8 jumps, and this is going to take us into Galvante, or I should say deeper into Galvante territory, and that's where the next missions will start. So we are currently now done in Arnon, and we're heading to the next one. And it's pretty easy just to follow along with the wiki. As I've said before, the wiki will be in the description. There are stages to the wiki. First chapter is the one that we just got done. It's called Quality of Mercy, and the last mission there is Going Galvante, so that's what we're currently doing now. And we'll start chapter 2 called Automation Impediment. So Automation Impediment, it's probably going to have to do with drones, and that's a five mission chapter. So I'll go ahead and get that done. I'm going to try to get to maybe chapter 4, and I'll call this a video. So the next one after chapter 2 would be chapter 3, of course, which is called Shadow Puppets. I can't remember where that is, but it might be Mimnatar. But yeah, we'll go ahead and pause the video. I'll restart the video once I get into Galvante, or to the next mission hub, and we'll talk about what missions they have going on there. So till later. So I started the video again, guys. I just did a quick look. These project discoveries, I tried to do them. Apparently for alpha characters it is limited to how many you can do per day, which is kind of sad. As Omega you can do as many as you want. But as you see, we started with around 12,550,000, and we're currently up to 15. So that's 2,500, or 2,500,000, I mean, that we've gotten just in the first 10 missions there, along with the bounty prizes of killing a few of the rats that were in the missions. So yeah, we'll go ahead and pause this. I'll let you know when I'm at the next hub. Alright, we've made it to the system. We're in warp to dock up. I've read over the 5 missions. It looks like one of them is literally a scoop loot. You don't even have to shoot anything. The next one's a drop off, and then you have one where you have to kill about 3 waves. None of them are anything big. And then another data retrieval. You can just scoop loot, don't shoot anything, and that's it. And then you'll have to go somewhere else again. So we'll try to get these all done really quick. The server shutdown is imminent, as you see. So let's get going here. I will turn on recording if anything crazy happens or if anything hard pops up, like trying to find someone. And yeah, I just accepted. Let's undock. Other than that, I'll be right back then. Alright, we're back. And as you see, we've finished up those missions really quick. We're going to go ahead and accept this, undock, and start heading that direction. I'll just say that read the missions, guys. I believe it was mission 13, Lair of Snakes. The mission over here in the objective tells you to destroy a research facility or something. As you're shooting it, more and more waves start pouring in. It's a possibility that if you don't have a good tank, if your DPS isn't high enough, all those other factors, that you could possibly lose your ship. So just make sure that you read the mission. There's actually a point where you don't have to kill the research laboratory. It's when you destroy the third wave, something will warp off. So make sure that you maybe shoot it once, so that the mission is happy, and then you start working on all the other stuff that's around you. It's 5 frigs, 3 frigs, 2 destroyers, and that was the wave where I started to be a little concerned. I was like, really? I'm supposed to keep shooting this thing that takes a lot of ammunition to kill, or a lot of time and DPS to kill, and there's all these frigates around me, and destroyers that were closing in. So I swapped and started killing the destroyers, and then I read the mission notes that you don't even have to kill the base itself. You have to kill, or the research laboratory, I mean, you have to kill the waves. So again, make sure that you have the DPS and that you have a little bit of a tank. I myself was on the verge of running out of cap. It wasn't like it was going to affect me. I had a full armor. It was just my shields were already down. So even if I had run out of cap, I was still putting on enough DPS that I wasn't truly concerned of losing my ship. But if your clone is not as skilled as mine, it could be that you run out of cap faster, or you ran your armor up too long by accident and you capped yourself out, and now you're basically in a bad place. But that's all, guys. We're gonna cut here. I'm going to just make this trip. I will wait out the server restart and we'll start recording again with the 3rd chapter. We'll finish the 3rd chapter today and call it a day, and that'll be it. Alright, and the server is back up. We'll go ahead and claim this and log all the rest of the way in.
Connecting.
I was looking through it during the downtime. It looks like the first one is a simple fetch mission, I believe. Or maybe even the first one is just a go look at something, and the second one's a fetch mission. The third one appears to be kill something, maybe 3 to 4 frigates. The fourth one, deliver something. I think you can just deliver it straight up and leave. This is the one that has the 150 cubic meters. So if you're coming here with an assault frig as an alpha clone, then make sure you have your cargo expanders for this one to be able to do it. And the level 20 mission, I believe, is one where we're going to have to go in there and kill about 12 drones or frigates, frigate-sized drones. And mission 21 is just flying back away. So we'll go ahead and accept this stuff that we haven't accepted yet. These is what I got for the Project Discovery. We're just going to redeem all of them right now to this station. That's fine. 20,000 credits will go straight into our account in the inventory. We'll open that up, and we'll open these up. And this is what happens when you open these. It opens up this little flow chart, and depends on where you click. Of course, you can't click anywhere. Some of them will have 2, and then you'll have the 50-50 chance of getting something good in the beginning. It's just going to give you some skins, and hey, look at that, we got a magnet biosecurity responder skin, and I was actually looking at that, how much it costs to buy it myself. I'm actually happy I didn't buy it. I will look at it. I think if we show the info, attributes, the magnet, we click on the magnet again, and we can click here and we'll see how it looks. And this is one of the biosecurity skins that I really like. Usually they don't look that good, but because it usually starts at the front of the ship and then fades off to this honeycomb style pattern on the magnet with the highlight tones up there, where there usually is other stuff, where it's usually gold, and they blacked it out. Makes it look really nice, I think. So I'm actually happy that we got that one. We'll activate that skin for us since we have an Amar ship. And we'll go ahead and open the second one here. And a Tristan. Well, we're not flying the Tristan, but we'll throw this in our cargo. Maybe we'll get it back to somewhere where we can sell it. That'll be worth probably not a whole lot of money, but it's at 18,000, I think. But yeah, there's that. We'll go ahead and start this conversation since we didn't start it yet. Accept the mission, and just like always, guys, if anything goes sideways or anything creates a problem during the missions, I'll stop recording, bring you guys up to date, and we'll see that. Why is it that I have two accepted here? Agents of interest and agents available to me. Well, it doesn't matter. Does she still want me to turn something in? I don't think so. Interesting. So, see you guys in a few. Alright, just like that, we're back. And we started our conversation here. This was basically the last mission here. He'll give us the mission that's going to take us out of Caldari space. You can see here we're in Caldari space. And it's going to want us to go back to Sister Alitora. And she wants us to do something there. So we'll go ahead and set that destination. We're going to undock, and we're going to call this a video here, guys. Those missions weren't that hard. Like I said, the only one you need to worry about probably if you're doing it in a frigate is the 150 meter cubed cargo space. And that was, this is mission 21. We'll wrap up this video. We'll start video number 2 shortly, or at least video number 3 of the entire series, and video number 2 of the Sisters of Eve Epic Arc, the Bloodstained Stars. Catch you next time.